Okay, so everyone clear on
Is it work two, week two, homework
no, this is work 3.
three? I don't have three. Let me go to my phone.
What does it pass for? You should say. No. The other thought you were going to go with the classic 3 little picture, especially this creepy out. So here's what we're doing this time. What we're doing is feedback loops. So you present your paragraph, your 30-second commercial of what one of the biggest misconceptions. We've done that between now and then. Right, great. Yeah, once you print it out, you read it out loud.
Here we go.
Yeah. Excellent. Then you just. Right. So once you do that, everyone's going to give you a little bit of feedback. One thing you did well, one thing you can improve. Then I'm going to present, and everyone else take some time to get started. Yeah, I'll take a look. We're about to start now, actually. Martina seems to be itching to go first. Not really? I want whoever wants to go first the most to go first. Alright, so does everyone have everything that's needed off the computers?
I'm trying to find my pen now.
I'm gonna be on camera.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that Bobby?
What?
No.
Oh yeah, I'm recording this.
I just
I
think I'm
forgot about that part.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's wait another minute or two.
I'm
Just
trying
get
to find. I got
last
like
of the
three.
printings out.
I
Yes?
got three Charlie ones open up. I gotta find which one is which.
Okay.
Just look under some item.
No, see, I've had so many documents so far, opened up so many times. I gotta find out which one is which.
Oh, all I need is, you know what, because I don't know why I did this when I set up I didn't bring the book to this. So if anybody can borrow, I can borrow a piece of paper from somebody, one of those papers. If you think it's important for us to use this. If not, we'll just.
Does anyone else have last grab equipment?
Yes, I do.
Could I
I
just
do.
get another piece of the tape, one of your papers? That's it. Oh, I should have put faster. I don't see it out there. Oh my word, this thing has to go. I tried to put this in. Okay.
Alright, well, we're doing this thing. Let's do
I'm
this
take
again.
something from the back so I don't.
Alright, let me see what I got here. I might have it. Let me see. Nope, this is not the one. Oh my God, this is not, that's the wrong one. I'm out of that. Exit out of that, that's the wrong one. Go back to this, go to this one.
Rosalind, thank you. You're
Let's see
lazy.
if I can follow
I
this.
set in my pocket today. For some reason I put it in. I don't know, it's because of the, trying to show everything in. To. Whatever.
All right.
Okay. This one. Let's see, this is the one.
Do you have a
That's
print
not
out?
the one.
Alright, Mr. Russell, we're gonna
Go ahead,
start.
start without me. I'll be.
No, because the second part is like,
I have to get that, I have to get it printed out. The second
All right.
part is what?
well, don't worry about the printing out right now, Mr. Russell.
I can't find it to read it to you.
Right,
So I don't print it out.
but you're not reading right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let Mr. Martinez begin.
Go ahead.
You're to give him your full attention, and then once he's done and we're done the feedback, you can look for yours. Okay? Mr. Martinez, sit up on the chair of stuff.
Getting feedback, right?
Oh yes. I'm going to be taking notes on this board. What's the subject?
Let me know when it's a good time to go.
Whenever you're ready.
Alright. Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon.
My name is Oscar Martinez, and I will be presenting my project on misconception. Alright. I think the greatest misconception is being judged by where you come from. Nowadays, people will acknowledge the person's area on where they grew up at to determine one's life. My beliefs in that is if you can strive from the bottom, you can reach your goal and make it to the top.
Amen.
No one deserves to get judged right away. Take the time to get to know a person before you start talking about him or her. Some people are not born with a silver spoon in their hands. Many have to accomplish things on their own, which is true. Every day trying to survive in an area of drugs and violence is very hard to do. Some people love to live in a great area where they can hear birds chirp and warm, welcome neighbors. If you can keep a positive attitude towards life, something good will happen. The world is not made to be perfect because some of the smartest people come from the worst areas but choose to stand out and move forward in life.
That was good.
Very good.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good.
So, anybody has any feedback?
Let's do this in order of the fashion. Remember, one thing you thought was good, another thing you thought could stand some improvement. One other thing, I'm going to clarify the guidelines for this. It can be something in his word choice, his general demeanor, his subject matter, whatever. All right? So it's not just limited to his voice tone. Go ahead, Ms. Taliaferro. One
I
thing you
like the
like.
major concept right off the bat because it's familiar to a lot more people than just one right. We can understand what he's talking about.
Okay, and what do you think he could improve on?
I think he did well.
Right.
Who he is and what he had to go through. Sounds like he's talking about himself. And it's not that hard to put yourself in that situation. I think he did good. We could all, brush up on some things, but one step at a time. The class just began.
Thank you.
All right. Charles?
I can relate to what he's saying because remind me the record started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Uh,
I like the record and I can really relate to that.
right.
And I think you did damn well.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else?
I think you did very well. I know you were a little nervous. You could see the nervousness in you as you were talking.
Right.
But that's only going to come with practice and more time, and you'll feel easier in front of everyone. I think you hit it right on the head because you gave you wrote it, the subject you wrote on, you gave the point, and then you gave the benefits about how you feel on how people judge you,
Right.
and that what you're doing in your life to accomplish, not to be a statistic, not to be just somebody, some hood on the corner.
Exactly.
And that's basically how you feel that you're looked at by certain people because of where you come from and however, but that's not your upbringing. That you want to be judged on how you were upbringing, how your upbringing was, and how you present yourself is how you want to be judged on, not because of where you might have come from.
Exactly.
Very good. Other than that, it was really good.
Thank you.
The writing was good, and you did get to the point.
Thank you.
Very good.
Charlie?
Mr. West, Ms. Young, and then me. Mr. West, thoughts?
Excellent. Excellent. I have nothing to say. It's excellent.
Your negative feedback and
Negative feedback.
Could I just ask one question?
Yes.
How many rough drafts did you have?
Probably. See, what happened was the way I was doing it, I was just, writing everything down
Right.
as much as. I didn't have too many rough drafts because I kept taking words out and I kept, backspacing.
So that's a rough draft, but
Yes.
because that is to me a finished product. It's I don't know a lot about writing, but from what I know and from reading and from listening to other people, that was really good. And it doesn't sound like you just sat down and wrote that. That's why I asked you how many drafts. You put a lot of thinking
And I
you
put a lot of
thought
effort to the subject meaning because, like you said, how I grew up in general, because sometimes people will be like, wow, you got tattoos, you ain't doing that much life.
stereotype.
Exactly. And
It's a
it's just like,
stereotype.
but I can come off as a great people's person. I'm a great person that you want to work with and just simply say, you know what, let me take the time to listen to this young man and see what he's about and be able to move forward, and you might learn something. Because it doesn't matter how old you are, where you come from, or anything like that. Because simple as this, Charlie's he's, we're around the same age, he's a little bit older than I am. Everybody's a lot older than us. But having a young student, a young teacher teaching, some might feel some type of way. Or some might be like, wow, I wish that was my son up there. Or just the fact that he's about my son's age, I'm learning from this young man. He's very intelligent, you know. So
That's
you
a
never
good
know
point.
where
That's
you come
another
from.
good
It's
point.
just like it's a
Yeah.
great thing.
And that's
Right.
another misconception that people would have.
Exactly.
Someone like me, I could be Charlie's grandmother.
Right.
And I'm like, why am I listening to this young boy? I could teach him something about life, but.
Exactly. You never know.
Miss Young. Hey, Sabrina. Glad you're here. Miss Young, do you have any feedback on Oscar's speech?
No, the very thing, the topic that you chose is almost like what I decided to write on. I mean, because you are on point, you are on it, and I think that's all good. Because it's like what you were saying about how they judge you. I mean, like say if you were older,
Right.
that would be one side of you.
Right.
And because you're young, they're like, man, you don't know that much. You don't.
Exactly.
And that's so unfair to a person
That is very.
to be judged like that.
Mhm.
So you was on point and you were very good. I like that.
Thank you.
Go out.
Thank you.
Good. My feedback, as far as it goes, read that last sentence you used.
The last sentence. This world is not made to be perfect because some of the smartest people come from the worst areas, but choose to stand out and move forward in that.
Mm.
Is that
That
a sentence
was-
fragment?
No, that is not a sentence fragment. I believe that is one of the stronger sentences in your presentation.
Mhm.
What's the first three words again?
The first three words in the last sentence.
In the last sentence, yeah.
This world is not
Meant to be heard. Correct. I feel like the sentence would be stronger if you cut that out, and then it just starts with, some of the smartest people come from some of the worst areas. And go on to that. That is a really strong thing that, you know, makes people sit up and pay attention.
So you would say
It's a hook.
cross out this word.
The world is not made to be perfect, because that's self-evident, so I'd cut that out. So just so for example, some of the smartest people come from the worst areas, but choose to stand out and move forward in life. That is a really, really good ending. It's clear from just your style of speaking and the tone of your voice that this has really struck a nerve with you. This is something you would write about more, I have a feeling, if I gave you an opportunity, which I intend to. As for things you can do better, I'm so glad I don't have this tape. But it's very common when you're speaking to move back and forth. And God knows I do it too when I'm particularly flustered. You guys probably notice that. Eventually you'll cut down on it. That's just practice and knowing that you're comfortable. It's like jumping into a pool of really, really cold water. It stings at first, but once you get the blood.
You know why I do that? Because like
Yeah.
sometimes like, especially when I'm prepared for my presentation, because I'm sure some people have seen my presentation. Remember like when, let's go back to when we did the 30-second commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How I did it twice, because I recommended something else.
Right.
Because the first 30 commercial that we did was basically saying, here, write something down and act like if you met somebody in the elevator. Now, wouldn't you feel better if you have another person that's dressed in business attire, you know, greeting you, and you're actually having a conversation with him, like, hey, how you doing? You know, my name is such and such. Because remember, sometimes when you go to an elevator or anything in general, you kind of feel shy. But then when you see that business person there in front of you, you're gonna give it your all, and you're gonna introduce yourself well, and you're gonna just be like, hey, how you doing? You know, my name is such and such, and like, you know, it's a lot of hand movement too.
True.
It's kind of hard to just stay stiff and say, hey, how
Yeah,
you doing?
presentation is really hard.
Right.
And it's different talking to someone than addressing a room full of people. There's a fundamental difference. Otherwise, I thought that was a really good first draft.
Thank you.
Good. All right, so we're just keeping notes up on the board based on what subject you chose. I'm going to catch Miss Alberg up real quick. Who wants to go next?
So would you like me to, I sent it to you again,
I'm sure that's not going to be the only application before the meeting ends. So hold on to it and think about it. But also, yeah, good. Hold on a minute. I'm going to catch Miss Alberg up. You can take a seat up here. It won't take long to catch her up. All right, Sabrina. Here's the plan, Captain. There you go. So the plan is. Did you come in for makeups yesterday? Oh.
Just tell me to come in for
Okay.
You sent me to just make up what I was doing. I did that. I did the medals. I
Right.
did the capitals.
Good.
I did my misconceptions.
Oh, do you have that now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because right now we're presenting,
Oh, okay.
and the basic format is. Four makeups. Basic plan is you present your.
This is what I did for the misconception.
Excellent. So here's the plan. Well, as you can see with Ms. Kelly, she's going to present, and then everyone gives feedback. One thing you did better, and one thing you did well, and one thing you can improve.
Okay.
And then we'll move forward from there.
Okay.
One other note, guys, is that when giving feedback, it is very important to be both specific and brief. Feedback for Oscars was exhaustively detailed, which is awesome. But if we do that, we will not be done until around 6 if we do this for everyone.
Okay.
So,
I can't find mine anyway, so I
all right, do you remember what?
I gotta redo it.
Don't worry about it. I have it in my inbox.
Okay.
You got it?
On paper.
My
That's fine.
I'm not supposed to do it on the computer.
Mr. Allison, one moment. Allow me to answer. If you have it written down, that's great. As long as you can present it and have it with you and be able to make changes to it based on feedback.
Okay.
Sure, fine. Yes,
I'm
Mr.
talking about
Allison.
my revised one. The one I sent to you at the end of last class.
Yeah,
And it's got more words on it. Did
Uh-huh.
you get that? Because I can't find it.
I did.
It got more
I'll
about my
forward it
mother
back.
and everything in it.
I'll forward it back to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, so don't worry about it. Ms. Taliaferro, you now have our undivided attention. Please,
I'm sorry.
one last thing. Sin, is anyone here? You know why we have mirrors there, right? Good. Everyone, I know. So here's what we're doing. While people are speaking, everyone here took LSS, right? See, Mr. Martinez anticipated my point. We're going to shut off our monitors because, to ensure that we show the proper amount of respect. Do you want me to?
Let me just log on real quick and then I'll turn
You're still
mine
listening
off.
to the?
Okay.
Still playing? You sure?
Jack. I'm stick you up for you.
Put your password in. Sure.
I'm gonna catch you now for your phone. Take them from there.
All right. So everyone, shut off your monitors. That's the screen, not the actual power source.
Wait, I'm just.
Yeah, you're logging in. Don't worry
Then
about
I'm gonna.
it. You're fine. Plus, I can see what you're doing.
Oh,
All right, Ms. Taliaferro, sorry for the delay. Please blow us away.
Are you guys ready for this?
Absolutely.
A great misconception that people have is that college is going to be the next step in school. They actually think they will be able to absorb the information in class as easily as they did in high school. So they pack up and run off to school, not being concerned with how much time it takes to do each class's homework. Study time is frequently misconceived. They forget how much time it takes to read and to comprehend the depth of the point of the subject matter for each class. College professors give out homework like that class is the only one that you have. Now, you can have any number of classes that all require your commitment to do the work. You sort of promised that you would when you signed up for school. Now, you are stuck. One way to clear up this misconception is to experience it yourself. When you get a handle on time management, then you can begin to divide your time into blocks that are fundamentally necessary to conquer the task. How bad do you want it? It's up to you to prove the misconception wrong.
That was very,
You remind me of Maya Angelou. You speak like her.
Angelou, there's a U in it. Yes. Very
I
well
blurted
said.
out. I couldn't help that when it came
You
out
know
like
what
that,
I'm
Mr.
talking
Charlie.
about,
Oh, I am totally aware.
I couldn't hold the name, Mr. Charlie. I apologize.
No, it's fine. Alright, so, feedback for Miss Taliaferro. Miss Brody.
my feedback, oh, I didn't raise my hand.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Very well, you did get right to the point. I felt that there was some underlying tone that you were speaking of one or maybe several people that you encountered with in the school that you have seen that they haven't done exactly what, they haven't followed the program exactly. And now that you wrote all that, and it could be you, and it could be other people also, but if everyone actually listened to you and followed what you said, the whole school would run like a well-oiled ship. Very well done.
Thank
Alright. Ms. Alberg, do you have any feedback for Ms. Taliaferro?
Very well spoken, pretty interesting. You do make key points. A lot of us do that. And really, I don't have anything negative. It was pretty, it was pretty to the point, and I understood everything that she was relating to in her message when she was presenting it. So.
Okay. Fair enough. Well said. Ms. Roslyn?
I loved it. The sound of your voice, you sound like Maya Angelou. And speak the depth, the sincerity and the depth and the way you speak your words and the way they flow. Just like Maya Angelou. And I feel like that was good. It hit me. And some good points too. But that's the best thing I say. Maya Angelou. She's a everybody
She's
knows
well
Maya.
respected.
Yeah, so that's what it reminded me of. That's all I have to say.
Alright. Mr. Martinez, what do you got for me?
I thought it was great. It was great. She went to the point pretty much of saying, how people thinking going to college is just it's going to be a simple task, but knowing that there's a lot of work to come with it. So comparing it to this to college, we actually got lucky. We actually are very, very blessed with the amount of work that we did. Because being in college it's hard, and it takes a lot of studying.
Have you ever been in college?
I had a lot of friends that been in college, but guess what? They wound up dropping out. They started to say, I can't do it. They give up easily because they want to live the party life. They want to live the young life and just be out there when you couldn't multitask. So you giving that great speech of stating, study is just basically one of the keys of, getting by and doing the work. When, it's going to be hard to do it on time. You're going to have many professors. So sometimes you got to kiss up, or you just got to stay after school and say, look, I might need this, I might need that. Because if you don't learn to speak up, it's just, getting point across. And also, there was one sentence, I think in the beginning, it sounded like you were saying a lot of synonyms in one sentence. The way my thinking process is right now, I would have to actually read it to be able to point it out. But I know it was a great sentence. But I think it was somewhere at the beginning. Misconception that what is that constantly sort of information. What is this? Comprehend. Depths. That's what I was saying. Comprehend the depths of the point of the subject matters for each group. I don't know. like the way I understand it and the way I took it as you're repeating things. That's what I thought. But maybe most likely Charlie's gonna correct that anyway about
No,
that's what you mean. But overall it was very, very good. I loved it.
So you thought that was repetitive?
Yeah, that sentence I really thought it was just like it said a lot of meaning, put a lot of effort into it, and it felt like you was repeating it but in a different tone, a different way.
Right. So the sentence could be simplified.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Mr.
Overall,
West.
great set. Great.
I think it was an excellent speech. I think you had a lot of fact. You said that a lot of people think that college you don't have to study as much. Like the professor gives you a lot of homework, and that you think you're just going to get that one homework, and you get 6 and 7 different homeworks. And what really stuck out to me when you said, how did you say it? You said something to the effect that you're going to get a lot of homework. You best believe it. You didn't say that those words, but you said it, And study habits, you got to have some study habits. You can't go to college thinking that you in high school. I mean, that's a fact. And I've been to college, but I only visited twice, 2 graduations. So, I never actually, enrolled.
Yeah.
But I went to college twice this year.
A good
I
job.
think it was nice. It was real good. I dug it. I really did.
It's a lot of thought behind
Lot
it.
of
It's a
thought,
good
yeah.
process. Good process.
And it seems like you've been to college.
I've been to 2 colleges, and I still don't have a degree.
I got it.
You don't have man's degree. You have your own degree.
I learned a lot.
I can just, it shows. It shows.
Had to grow up fast or get out.
Okay.
That's true. Especially back then, a lot of see, that's why I respect my generation now, but my generation doesn't respect it. Sorry if this is off the topic. The reason we don't respect it as much because we get things handed to us. Most of us is not earning. I mean, I'm earning my stuff because I know I am. But most of these kids out here, or these young men out here, are not earning it. They're living at their parents' house till about 30 years old. By choice. Because they don't know how to be independent. When you don't force yourself to be independent and get a job, then it's just like, especially if you don't have a disability, if you can lift heavy, you can comprehend as well, you can do a lot of normal things without getting the help. Some people are just lazy.
If your
Like I
parents
said,
let
this
you stay
generation
there,
is very lazy.
you plan on staying there till they kick you out.
Yeah.
That's right.
Ms. Young. Your thoughts?
She was good and straight to the point, and I think that what happens when, as far as the college went, some people, their self-esteem, it drops because of what other people think of them. And sometimes when you push somebody down, they find it hard to get back up because of their self-esteem. So you're right. I mean,
You have to learn how to focus
right,
on the point at hand. Your
exactly.
objective is to make it through.
Right, but what I'm saying, I understand that. What I'm saying is how some people, their self-esteem becomes so low, they don't believe nothing but negativity instead of something positive.
It's real estate. So, like it's saying.
But you did good.
Okay.
It's top there.
What time is it?
2:15, Mark. What can I do for you?
Can I stop this?
Yeah, sure. Alright, as for my feedback, Ms. Talbot, you have a storytelling era about you, and that's a good thing. And like Mr. Martinez before you, you seem to speak from experience, and that showed in your word choice and your, I don't want to say more, but your demeanor while presenting. It was very approachable, very interesting. You're able to snare people and bring them in quickly. That's good. You also were able to use timing very well. What was that one line? Now you are stuck. But the way you present, see, that's not funny in and of itself. But the way you paused, looked around, made sure everyone was paying attention, and then delivered it is very, very good. Some of the sentences, I know Mr. Martinez pointed it out, could be pared down a little, which is the depth of the point.
Yeah, that.
Right. Well, that can be pared down. They don't seem to understand the entire context or the full depth of the amount of work they're required to do. So paring that sentence down, other sentences down.
Actually,
improve
what I
flow.
meant by what each individual class's objective was at
Right.
the end. What you went into that class, what the teacher wanted you to learn that particular course. You know, if you don't know that at the beginning of school and you fool around and waste all of your time, you're not going to have enough time to catch up. And I mean, you just missed the whole semester because you lunched.
That's true. So perhaps rephrasing it so that's more
Yeah.
immediately clear would be a bit of feedback I can provide. Otherwise, well done. Indeed. Bravo. All right, who's up at bat next? I mean, presenting next.
I want to do mine over again because mine don't sound like nothing like theirs. I don't like writing, but I think I can do a
See-
little better. I think I can do a little better.
That is my job, is to make you like writing.
Yeah, but just listen to them. They help me. They make me want to do better with my writing. Just listen to them. I didn't care about it. Now I listen to them. I had the desire to do mine over again and do it.
As long as you have the desire to do it, we will facilitate that.
Yeah.
All right, so I didn't get any
So
random
thanks.
volunteers besides Mr. West.
I want to do
Please
mine.
step up. Oh, another bit of rule mongering on my part.
Excuse me if I hurry down.
Sorry, what were you going to say, Ms.
Oh,
Albert?
no.
Okay, so one thing about comments. Again, that took us about 20 minutes to get through comments. So here's what we're going to do. I know, people liked both of your stuff. So here's what we're going to do. What we're going to do is, during the speech, if you have pen and paper handy, or a screen, whatever you use for taking notes, try to write down a sentence or a fragment of a sentence or a particular phrase that you happen to like when they present it, and say, I like that phrase, X, Y, and Z, or you use a really good bit of alliteration with this and this, or whatever. Have a note down so you can refer to it quickly, make your point succinctly, thoroughly. Each comment shouldn't take more than the time this whole thing took to present. Hi, Janet.
Hey, how are you?
Very good. We're doing presentations today.
Ooh, excellent. Is that why you have the door locked?
No, I didn't know it was locked. Ooh, so embarrassing. So sorry.
Secret writing class.
Yes. Very furtive.
So of course I slept through the right.
Resourceful.
Good, good. Presentations are good.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Mr. West, take it away.
Hello everyone, my name is Alex West,
Hi.
and you gotta excuse my demeanor because I'm a little anxious for doing this. I'm not used to doing certain things, and Charlie is bringing it out of me
Doing good, man.
to try. So I give it my best. Okay, the most common misconception is that all black men are in jail. The truth is that a lot of people are in jail, not just only black people. All races of people are in jail. But it is true. Is it true that blinds have more fun? Is it true that all soccer moms drive minivans? Is it true that what they say about men with big feet? The most common misconception that's going on now is that the devil does not exist. You can tell that he does exist by what's going on in the world today. If you are a God-fearing person, you have to believe for every creation, there's a creator.
Really good.
Very good, Mr. West.
All right, Miss Roslyn, if you'd like to start us
It
off.
was full. It was good. Even though you were nervous about it, but it was good. It got right to the point, and it was funny. I mean, and it's true. I
But
like
blinds have more fun?
When I was blind, I did have more fun. See, I'm not a blind no more, but I ain't have no fun.
So what else? What do you think?
I loved it. It was really good. I laughed. It had me laughing. It had my attention.
All right, fair enough.
Makes me want to do mine over even more.
Alright, Ms. Brody?
I like
Okay.
the way,
Short
Hold
and
on, hold on,
sweet.
Ms. Tagliaferro.
What I enjoyed was, as you were given misconceptions, you were asking the questions of misconceptions. Does Mons have more fun? What people stereotype people as, I like the way you did that.
Right.
Very good. That was excellent.
It
Yeah.
was, it really
Mr.
was.
Martinez?
Yes. Pretty much as Ms. Brody has said, you gave more than one misconception.
Yes.
At first, in the beginning, I thought you were going to title it, talk about, the race of African Americans. They were titled as always end up in jail, but then when you go to jail, you look at it, there's Rican, there's black, there's white, every kind of color there is. Doesn't even matter.
That's a great
You're in jail because you did a crime.
Exactly.
But then as you gave other misconceptions,
It took us away from
you
that.
took it away from it, like you didn't stick to a topic, I'll be honest with you, in my opinion, you didn't stick to it. But you gave other great conceptions too. Like for everybody else to think of. Like if you're blind doesn't mean you're wild, if you have big feet,
Yeah.
you start making it funny. And at the end, can you read that last sentence?
If you're a God-fearing person, you have to believe for every creation as a creator.
And that was you left it off with a great ending. You left it off with a great ending. I said, otherwise just, switching all your topics. Like let's say if you would have stuck with the black, and then you would have talked about how black people, always get judged by this, or always, stuff like that. You would have made it like interested in your topic, but you gave more than one topic.
That made it more interesting.
But it was definitely good, especially the ending. I like it.
Thanks.
Alright, Ms. Tagliaferro?
My comment was exactly what Oscar said. True. I mean, really, you perceived it. I got it from the first line.
Right.
We talked about brothers being in jail,
Right.
and I thought it was going to go all the way down because you could have made a whole presentation on that one sentence,
Yeah.
and it still would have been acceptable. But the fact that you threw in so many more cliches that we just take for granted, that was wonderful.
Right.
Because it was funny. It's self-explanatory. Those ideas and sayings have been around for generations. We all heard them, and we all use them and make funnies. But they are misconceptions. That was good. That was good.
Good. Ms. Young? Feedback?
Huh?
Feedback from Mr. West.
Feedback. Your feedback. That was good. I like the way you said certain things that you were serious, but you made something funny. So when you had the people laughing, you got their attention. Like you were saying, what's that cliche about men with big feet?
Yeah.
You know.
He didn't even have to elaborate on it.
No, he didn't.
No, it didn't.
So, it was short and sweet.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
And lastly, I believe Ms. Alberg.
Me? Oh, okay. I liked it. I want to piggyback off of what the gentleman, I forgot his name.
Mr. Montel.
The first
Martinez.
He did, he did give us one topic and then kind of, ventured off into, a couple of others. But it all in all, it still all, came together, and I enjoyed it. It was really good.
Well said. As for me, you incorporated something that is known in the oratorical world as a rhetorical device. You know what a rhetorical device is, guys?
No.
You just heard a couple examples.
Oh. I didn't know what they were.
No. Rhetorical question is when I ask a question that I don't expect to be answered. Like if I ask, are you really sure you want to have Facebook open right now? I don't expect you to actually answer, right?
Right.
He used the, do blondes actually have more fun? Do soccer moms always drive minivans? He's not expecting, Joyce to chime in or Sabrina to chime in. These are questions that prove his point. So he's using a rhetorical device very, very well to disprove what he believed was the most common misconception. So that was well done. That was a very good public speaking trick. And when used limitedly in writing, well, used not limitedly, when used a sparing amount during writing, it can prove your point better than saying, here are the facts, you know, for 8 pages. If you make your points like that, that's a very good trick. My only real criticism was to hew to the topic. So say you use that rhetorical device of, you know, not every race does this, right? So once you've done that, say, I know from my own experience, or bring it back to yourself,
Okay.
and then
Personal.
continue, and then continue with your, give us
Can you upload this to?
yeah, 1 second. So if you do that and bring it back to your own personal experience, maybe even say why you chose this topic, that will link it all together nicely, and you can cut out the last bit, and you should be fine. That's my feedback. And for someone who seemed nervous, you contained it well.
Yeah.
Very,
Nice
very
enough.
natural. Your nerves flew out the window.
Good. I got it. You just get out and if you attend to the business of doing what you can do, I'll take care of it.
So a lot of times I challenge myself, man, because I don't want to do it because of my ailment, my disability. I have Parkinson's, and the more that I talk, the more that I start shaking. You know, it's just a known fact. So,
You're all right. You shake real good, babe.
so what I do, I challenge myself, even though they say that, you know, you want to shake, I still do it anyway. You know what I mean? I want to challenge it. It's just like going to school. I didn't want to come here at first, and then I said, let me challenge myself. I'm still learning, so I continue to learn. You know.
It's a different learning experience.
Yes.
I mean, environment. It's a different learning environment.
I don't feel judged here. I don't feel judged at all.
Each one of us got a little something.
We all got something going on.
You don't have to worry
I
about
got,
that.
look, I got mental and physical, so we doing good. All right?
Don't worry about it.
All right, who we got up at that next? Alberg, go ahead. No, I like mine, but they're pretty nice.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sabrina.
Hi.
Just give me a minute. I start hyping.
Remember, guys, no key phrases.
Okay. The most common misconception is advertisement. Everywhere you go, there's advertisement. A lot of times, advertisement is always shown.
Miss Sabrina,
I'm sorry.
no, don't worry. Speak up.
Oh,
I'm going to be in the back corner. If I can't hear you, no good.
oh. Okay.
Alright. So you want to start it over? Because I didn't really hear you very well.
Okay. The most common misconception is advertisement. Everywhere you go, there's advertisement. A lot of times, advertisement is always shown in big letters with bold italic behind it to catch consumers' attention. Lots of times, consumers are so caught up with what's in their best interest that they forget about that fine print. That's when misconception comes in. You focus on the sales advertisement, which draws you in. Then later is when the fine print is brought to your attention and you realize that there really is no sale. So unless you pay attention to everything, you will end up with misconception.
All right, feedback. Miss
Yes.
Roslyn?
That is so true. That's all I got to say. It's so true. It was so good.
Thank you.
Okay. Miss Brody?
That is one really good misconception, that about advertisement, and you have
Yes.
to read the fine print and the little asterisk. And I like the way you presented it.
Thank you.
It wasn't as long as others, the long, the amount of words,
Right.
but you did get your point across.
Okay.
And it was interesting, and you did a very good job speaking, and I liked when you spoke up.
Okay.
And you didn't seem nervous. Once you spoke up, you didn't seem nervous no more.
Oh.
For some reason, when you were talking low, you seemed nervous, but once you spoke up, you weren't nervous anymore.
Well, I was trying to calm myself down.
Okay, well, you did a good job.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Indeed, it's really difficult, especially in mid's presentation, to mentally rewind and then actually say it. You did very well at that, by the way. I'll get to that in my comments. But Mr.
Okay, thank you.
Martinez, I believe this is something.
I think it's pretty good. I think it was good. Talking about, I love the topic. Definitely like the topic about advertising because that's what I do. I love advertising. And pretty much, not many people catch on to little fine prints on, let's say, for example, Newport selling cigarettes. Next thing you know, cause cancer.
Right.
You know what I mean? People look at it for the colors, see the advertising, looks at it for the colors and stuff like that, it's going to pop out and grab the reader's attention. So you bringing that to our attention and pointing that out, that would be great.
Thank you.
Mr. West?
Advertisement, good subject. I enjoyed it. I think you did good, even though you looked a little nervous and first you was low. But after you picked it up,
Yeah.
you were right to the
Very
good
good.
point. And I found no flaws.
Well, unfortunately, U-shaped, I kind of hyperventilate a little bit, so I
Okay.
have to kind of talk to
Internal.
myself. You know,
Okay.
that
Internalize.
subconscious to kind of calm myself down.
Okay.
Else I'll start having a little trouble
Okay.
breathing.
You did a good job doing
Yeah,
that.
you did.
Thank
You
you.
did good. And once you picked it up, it was on. It was on from there.
Thank you.
Ms. Carroll? Feedback?
Advertising, that, what I got to say about advertisement, it's just like, say, the news. You know how the news make people hype, when they make more hype than they really have to be. Your advertisement, people get excited. It's just like, say, Former Mills advertised, it's a 90% off, and people's hype, they want to go do it. Instead of keeping a level head, some people, when they advertise, they just hype people up. Because it's not true, it don't be true all the time. But what you said was good. Keep it on the DL.
Thank you.
Ms. Tyler Farrell, have you ever given feedback on
Well,
what?
no, mine is about you as an individual. The subject matter was excellent, very, very well spoken. When you said out loud that you have a hyperventilation problem, that's the way you deal with your disability. One of the things that I was saying when I did mine, you have to learn how to focus on what it is that you're doing. You take the eye off you and put it on somebody else or something else, and you concentrate and focus on that, what you're doing at the time, and not how I'm doing.
Right.
Just go get the job done. Forget about you. Gentleman here with the park said, forget about that. Just go for it. Do what you came here to do.
Gotcha.
Don't get sidetracked.
Gotcha.
If that helps.
Yes, it does. Yes. Charlie.
Don't worry so much. You did a very good job. It was particularly impressive to see how you recovered halfway through and then presented it again with more authority and vigor. It was able to get people's attention. I could hear you from the door. It was good. Much better presentation than initially. One thing I would watch is word repetition. Use the full word of advertisement. You can shorten it to ad or product placement. Use synonyms. We've been on a big everyone here can tell we've been on a big synonym kick for the first
Yes.
5 or 6 classes, right? You're all sick of it, right? But synonyms are your best friend in a short, condensed speech like this, where you can make your point without having to use the same word over and over. But when you have that down, you'll have a very good speech that makes a point. I'm going to indulge in a bit of digression. I was a communications major in college. I learned a common place of employment for communications majors after college is advertising agencies. And so ads really are basically about appealing to the unconscious mind and the more fundamental part of human nature that your brain is screaming, ignore that, and you can't. The idea behind ads is to make something that can't be ignored. It doesn't matter what your reaction is, you just have to get the attention. It's really a bastard business in some ways, but also very interesting because there's a duality. Anyway, well done. I think you can do even better next time, but very good. I'm actually pretty jazzed about that. Oh well, you made me think. Excellent.
Thank you.
Yay!
Yeah.
How many people in this room think the teacher's having too good a time?
I need to have too much.
Listen, I have a pointed stick.
He's not even around
We
with
see.
Yeah, too much fun.
I have a pointed stick, and I am definitely afraid to use it. So, who's next? We've had Oscar, Joyce, Alex, Sabrina, which means that Diane, what's her name? Carol. Diane, Carol, and Rosalind haven't gone. Sorry. What's her name? You missed so much. So, unless you guys want to volunteer, I'll randomly pick the next victim. I always say victim. Usually you guys stop me from saying it. Alright, Miss Carol, to the fore. I'll move this chair out of the way since. Oh, you got it? Okay, cool. You okay, Miss Carol? Are you okay, Miss Carol?
Yes, sir. I'm Mr. Charlie.
Okay, no worries.
Not at all. The old dreaded hot seat.
Dreaded, really?
Yeah.
You think?
The title is called The Misconception of My Story. A lot of black men are labeled lazy and deadbeat dads. This misconception of black men is so unfair. I mean, there are other generations too, but I'm talking about black men on this. There are a lot of black gentlemen who really try to do their best. I believe they believe what people say, and their self-esteem drops really low. They become lazy and unemployed and lose their homes. On the other hand, you have some prominent men. These are the men that take that go to work every day. They take care of their home and their children, and their child or children, and stick and stay with one woman. The misconception of some men are unfair to a lot of black men. People need to focus on what their achievements are and stop ripping them apart. That's it.
Very good. All right, feedback. Mr. West.
I think that was excellent. I think you spoke to me personally, you know, because I do a lot for my children. You know, I might not be with my wife because I'm divorced, but every chance I get, I take the children out, I buy them things, I be with them, I spend time, which is most important. And I do a lot of activities with my children. On the weekend, I just hop them in the van, we go to the park. They said, "What are you doing, Dad?" I pull out a baseball bat and a baseball, start playing baseball, throwing a football. I just do everything I can with them. Take them places to art museum. I get them exposed to these things. And that's a lot of things that society is not focusing on, you know what I mean? And when you're doing good for your children, you don't hear that the good things, you hear the bad things that, oh, they're not doing nothing for the person, or they're not doing nothing for their children. But you spoke, you took up for me. And that made me feel so good, like a black woman should do, you know. It's excellent. I enjoyed it. I took it personal.
Sorry.
It
No,
resonated.
but it was good.
No, if it
It made me
resonates
feel
with your audience, it's
Yes.
good. Miss Taliaferro?
I like this subject. It was well spoken. It is true. It's not a cliche. People do that. I'm not going to say we because I don't live in that world. That's not my situation. But it's easier for a human being to tear somebody else down in order to make themselves look good. And it doesn't even have to be true. They're just going to rip you apart and focus on the points that stand out in you. The fact that you ain't got no job. You ain't trying. We got 9 kids. Wait that. How many baby daddies you gonna be? You know, it's easier to do that because people relate to that more quickly. But this brother says, you know, he's not like that, and he does with his children. But you see, he's one of the few that's not having his praises fanned. You know, but that doesn't change the fact that he's really doing it. I like the way you phrase it, that there are a lot of black gentlemen out there, but nobody's fanning their praises up in the big ad. There's no airplane going across the sky. If the brothers is really doing it, and just stop talking about the bad guys and focus on the good ones. They don't want to hear that. Shit sells.
Right.
You know, they want to talk about that.
Yes.
Martinez?
Good choice.
As what Miss Taliaferro says, basically, the point across that you made was not many young African Americans, not many black guys get recognized from them being good to becoming something great and being there for their children or trying to, get a real job and not be in the corner. So everything that you wrote there was basically, not misled, but well spoken and to the point of, practically hard. Same way as I know people that be called deadbeat all the time when they're actually, having a job and actually want to be there for their kid, but the baby mother is just putting them down. It's a lot of baby moms that want to put their boyfriends or ex-boyfriends down because they got a new female in their lives. But why would you not let him acknowledge his child if he wants to be there for his child? Because a child wants money. A child doesn't really want money. A child wants attention. A child wants to be loved and be cared for by his father and his mother. Because there are plenty of mothers that are mother and fathers. And they get acknowledged well. But it's kind of messed up when the poor black guy doesn't get acknowledged for being there for his children. But overall, I think that was a great topic.
Well done, Ms. Brody.
Basically, from what you had said is that you just want the Afro-American man to be stopped being labeled as, an unhealthy, stop being labeled as they are in an unhealthy environment where they're being, labeled as being, degenerates of our society, and that they don't care about anything but themselves. You want that to stop because that's not 100% true. That's what, basically, from what you were, how I took that as how you wrote it, is that you were saying that that's not true, and they should stop being labeled as that, because it's not, it's incorrect. And we did get an example from one of our own students that he said different from what the society that we live in and the culture is saying. Very well written, and point came across.
Indeed.
You should be a paper.
Ms. Alberg, did you get to chime in or not?
I just want to say that, you know, I understand the topic, but, you know, it's all nationalities that are going through that situation. And I think the way our society has changed so much, you know, with females becoming more independent and more in the working field as opposed to, you know, the home environment, you know, a lot of it was misconception, I would say, you know, and I just think that men in general, as well as women, you know, really need to focus. I think our society, if they focus more on positive things, if we all, like, you know, focus on more positive things, and as team players or whatever, I think that it will be a better, you know, a better society, you know, as opposed to labeling, you know, because like you said, there are, right, and like you said, there are really true gentlemen out there, you know, so that's my opinion.
And you have deadbeat dads.
You
in
do
every
have some.
culture,
Yes,
in
you
every
do
race,
have some,
in
but
every religion, you have deadbeat dads. So the black man should not be labeled as being a deadbeat dad.
right, but it's
As
sad
all
because
whole.
it's that little few that makes it bad for the rest.
Right. A
You
few
know.
bad apples are in
Yes.
the barrel, so to speak.
Right. It's like a bushel of crabs.
All right. I will be brief in my comments, not because I don't think that it was a good topic or that you did badly, but because we are running out of time before break. So here's what I will do. I think you presented well.
Yes.
You used your vocabulary to good effect. Announcing the title is probably unnecessary, but okay, fine. It's the first try. Good. I think you are of 2 points. I think this is 2 different essays that were put into one, or not essays, presentation. The first part was that those who do well by their families should be lauded and praised. Yes, that is an absolutely worthwhile essay topic to present on. And the other was that those who are not doing well for their families should not be publicized so much and reinforced as a stereotype. I think the last sentence you correct was very strong. What was it? People need to focus on their achievements and stop tearing people apart. Right. It's only a 30-second speech, so it's difficult to weave in themes. But were you to expand this, I would expand on the theme of it is better to focus on what you have done rather than what someone has not done. And I'd actually be very interested to see that at some time in the future. So overall, I thought you did an excellent job.
Yes, she did. She really did.
Brody, you're closing us out. You're a pinch hitter. Pinch hitter, then we're going on break.
First of all, I didn't even bring up my glasses because, okay, when Charlie gave us the assignment, I had thought that it was what is most misconceived about yourself.
Conceived of it.
About misconceived about yourself. So I actually wrote on my time when I was in a wheelchair for a year and a half. That's what this is about. And basically, what it was is when I wound up in a wheelchair because I had something wrong going on with my hip and I was disabled, not being able to get around on my own, I found that very people that were very close to me, my family and my friends, except for my daughter, basically put me in a corner and said, you can't. And that's the words I would hear is you can't, you can't, you can't. And I was determined that that was not going to stop me. So fortunately for my daughter, she said, yes, we can. The wheelchair can go in the car. I can take you to the shore. We can do these things. Until I was a person that was in a wheelchair, I never respected the respect that I have today. And when I was going through that, and today it will stay with me for the rest of my life, on how people with disabilities are not being treated 100% the way they should be, the way we should be. Because of how society looks upon us, which is totally wrong. And I hope that through my studies at school here, how I am learning more and more and the people that I'm meeting, and that is one of the biggest misconceptions that I have found out through my life. And it took me to have a disability to realize how much people with disabilities are being misconceived. So that's mine. It's not exactly what is on the page, but
That's what the bottom
the
line.
point is there.
Excellent. All right, feedback, guys. Miss Alberg.
Okay, it was a good presentation for you to come up with right away, as opposed to not writing it down. That was excellent. So, and you did make some key points. People with disability are judged differently as opposed to regular normal people in society, which I think is a big misconception. That's it.
Okay. Miss Roslyn.
You worked good. You worked fast on your feet, honey. You did good. And your points were very valid. And just from speaking, when you speak about stuff you've been through, when you write about stuff that you can't write about like you've never been through. So when you write about stuff you've been through, it makes it all that much better because you've been through it. So,
Yes.
And I thought it was good.
All right. Mr. Martinez.
Well, I wasn't here for most of it, but from the glimpse of what she was talking about, people with disabilities, and also for sure. I can't even give my opinion on it because I wasn't here.
Okay, fair enough. Mr. West.
I think it was well delivered. I think she really didn't have that much time to really talk about what she was going to, she put down on paper, so she did it from her head, and then she did good. There is a lot of misconceptions about people with disabilities. We do get judged differently. To take it the next step further, it's the children that don't really know what's going on with us, how they might mock us. You know what I mean? Like, I be in the shop line around town, shopping. And I might have something in my hand, and I'm ready to pay for it, and I be shaking a little bit. And the kid in the back of me, he don't know nobody, he's like, huh, my guy ain't shaking. He must be drunk, you know. And I'm not drunk, but, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions about people with disabilities.
Right.
Exactly.
And I be in church a lot of times. And when it comes to note taking, I like taking notes.
Right.
Because I go over it and I can retain it better. And there's children in church just looking at me like, what's wrong with them? You know, staring at me. So now, I had to develop. I've come to develop myself because I used to have a lot of misconceptions, which was when y'all spoke on that misconceptions, and I was always misconceptive, and thinking how people talk about me, how they feel about me, and when they not even thinking about me. But it's my misconception thinking that they thinking about what I'm doing or how. Yeah.
Got it.
So I've learned to say, got to get a case of the fuckers. You know? And I don't care what they think.
You feel as though everybody was only worried about your decision.
Yeah. So now I don't even worry about it because I got to live with it. So I just keep on and I don't focus on that no more. I don't take the eye off of me, like you were saying.
Got it.
You know, and just focus on what's at hand. So I think you did a good job and it made me reflect on
Your
my
own personal
stuff.
life.
Yes. Yes.
Ms. Young?
Each and every one of us has a different understanding of really what that misconception feels like. Because you have some people that are born with theirs, then you have some people that had accidents or whatever. Identifying with you, we were able-bodied out there in the world, up in age or whatever, we were doing it. And then all of a sudden something happens and you find yourself in a wheelchair. I was paralyzed on my whole left side. But it came back, so here we go. We're going to keep on going.
Right.
But it still shows. But it's not a mental, you know, it's a physical. And we always make wisecracks at things that we don't understand. But it does hurt when people look at you and make wisecracks and they tell you you can't go, you can't do that, what you can't get. And I went to my class reunion Saturday night, 43 years. And my son took me over there. I mean, it was a crowd, but he was my ride. Mom, you can't go. Look at you, what's the matter? We got to go home early. Look at you, you're shaking, you this and that. I had to walk. So I had to take a cane, but it was overwhelming for me because this is the first time in 8 years I'm going out into the grand ballroom and it's all filled up with people, too many people moving around at the same time. You know, and this one's coming from this side, and this one wanted to talk to you, and this one touching me over here, and this one's calling me over there, and the neck don't turn all the way around like that, you know. So you're trying to do too many things at one time, trying to compensate somebody else instead of trying to handle what you came there for, which make sure you got there and got back.
Right.
You know, you pay for your thing at the counter and got back. Don't worry about all the little nitwits that don't understand what true disabilities really are. Because when we were in high school, we called it afflicted. Y'all was retarded. You was in afflicted because you was in the special class. You was in the special class. And all of us know what it was like. We run around trying like it's all good. You know, ain't nothing wrong with me. Yeah, right. You know, but some people do just rub it in too hard. You know, and as a disabled individual that has the gumption, all of us in here, there's a reason why we're here, is because we want to make something better of ourselves, and we're striving and striving, we're just not there yet. And they're still looking down their nose at you, but they didn't see you way back then.
Right.
They didn't see me when I was tied to the bed, when I was tied to the wheelchair stuff, when I was looking for my leg and it was on the side of the bed. I mean, you know, they didn't see you when you were struggling really hard. And here you have progressed so much further along the line because you actually can come to this school on your own and do the work and pass the class and cut up just like everybody else, you know. So you come a long way, baby. And you're getting up, you got up out of your chair, you kept on keeping on, and my chair is in the shop today. I had to walk. And it hurt on an arthritic day, you know. I mean,
But you here.
hey, Carly said.
But you have the determination, and we all have that. That's one thing we can credit, each one of us can credit ourselves with that, is that we have the determination and the passion, and that's why we're sitting here today.
That's why you still here, yes.
Hold on. Ms. Young, feedback.
I was like that, like what you said, how people with disabilities get, if you ride a train and they see you standing and you might start shaking, that a person is going to sit right there
Mm-hmm.
instead of like saying like, excuse me, do you need to see?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I mean, it's like, I used to be like you said, I didn't understand until it happened to me.
That's exactly what mine should have been entitled. I didn't understand until it happened to me.
It's like,
Right. You don't know until you walk in
right,
someone
like
else's
all
shoes.
my life, I mean, I done ran track, I done did so much.
I remember
And I
you
was,
said that.
I was not in a wheelchair, and I didn't have to worry about trying to get up the steps, and it was crawling up the steps because I couldn't walk. You know, and I didn't appreciate, not that I talked about other people, but sometimes, you know, some things are funny, you laugh, and you really shouldn't. And I used to, I didn't show my empathy towards another person because I wasn't like that.
We were ignorant to the fact
Right.
of what someone else was going through.
Going through,
that-
right. Like I just said, when they be saying, why you so mad at people?
Oh, this thing is going on top.
And I will always tell a person, I'm not mad at people, I'm mad at the disease. Because the people didn't give me what I got. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Nobody.
It's true.
So, you know, the misconception of you appreciate more anything, you appreciate a disabled person more now than you did before.
I understand it better.
All right. Yeah, speak quick.
Well, another thing I would like to share is just some people that are born disabilities, they didn't learn how to accept it, or some didn't know how to go about it. Like me, my diagnosis is spinal bifida, you know, and it was a blessing to be able to walk, be able to talk, be able to do things, because what a disabled person does is say, I can't do it. It's not that I want to, I just can't. But when you sit there and try, like me, I strive and I strive. And I know I'm a young man, I'm 23 years old. I got my whole life ahead of me. But, like, you know, sharing with y'all when the doctor said I would have to go to Moss Rehab in order to learn how to drive. Go ahead. My legs know how to function. I mean, I have no calves. I'm lucky to be walking. It's a blessing. Legs are very skinny. I don't wear shorts because I feel insecure. But sometimes I learn to just get over it. And I taught myself how to drive. You know, with an ex-girlfriend of mine. But you know, I learned how to drive. I got my license like everybody else. Bought my own car. Started to do things for myself. And coming here and being able to like witness everybody with different disabilities and nobody, they gotta give yourself a pat on the back and knowing that you didn't give up. Because once you give up and you go through that depressive stage, you just don't want to do anything anymore. You just don't want to get up and say, you know what, I can do it. But having like Charlie and the rest of the staff believing in us and basically say, yo, we see something in each and individual that y'all can go further, but y'all just have to take, you have to take the baby steps. And like I said, me learning to believe in myself, and that was my only motivation. I didn't have anybody to look up to, you know? And it's just like being born when I was diagnosed with for the rest of my life, they took a lot of things away from me, but it didn't take my eagerness and willing to succeed. Because I was like, you know what, I gotta beat this obstacle. Okay, I might look strong up top, but I know I can't always lift up 100 pounds. And I can't be in a constructive area where I gotta do all this hard work. So maybe I can eliminate myself to be in an office or an advisor or something like that. And that's why when I got involved in my community and being able to help others, like, I felt good about myself. And when I'm able to help somebody or give them that will to succeed, and they don't have no disability, then I'll be like, look, man, I've been through over 10 operations. I got this. They're like, you're lying. I'm like, I'm so serious. But then they just start. That's when people open their eyes and start believing themselves. So that's what I, basically like to share on behalf of what she was basically talking about.
Well said. Very nice. Well, I think it's safe to say you touched a nerve there, don't you?
Yeah, I didn't intend to do that, but I'm glad that.
Yeah, it had an
There was
impact
good
on everybody.
feedback.
Well, you knew your audience well enough to make the discussion of your thing go about 20 minutes longer than planned. So that was good. You have a flair for words and speaking extemporaneously, which is on the spot. You also showed a very valuable skill that we're going to be going over in a bit, of summarizing your own work. You didn't recite it word for word, but I could see you going through your thing mentally and picking the best parts of it, presenting them, and then moving on with it. The summarization is an incredibly vital skill in the workforce. You have to be able to know what's important and what's not. You pick the best parts of what you wrote and presented them well. Yes, Miss.
Can I do mine off my head?
Not right now, no. We can do
Well,
it
then
when we
I'm
get
not,
back.
I lost my guts then. Never mind.
No, they're still
Never
inside
mind,
your
never mind.
chest cavity.
Never mind.
You want a break?
No idea. Break!
Okay.
And come back at 3:20. No, 30! 30! Man, where are you going? 3:25 at latest. Alright, get back here. Relax, and then I'm
Stand in here.